Hey guys, what's going on? Where's Trends here? So, as you might have known, quite a while back, I made this form to have you guys fill out what you would want to see in a Season 6 cast for BFDI. Now, the most popular kind of way Season 6 could go is in All-Stars voting, which is what I see most people do. But there's a little bit of a problem with All-Star voting, is that it's usually going to be heavy towards more older characters, and then since it's an all-stars season, the newer guys might not have much of a place. So that's when I came up with this idea to actually weigh the cast, and I got this from Team Room 125 again. I think they did it really great there, so that's what we're going to do here. So out of all these guys, out of all the characters, I've split them down into 4 groups: Gen 1, 2, 3, and 4. Gen 1 is the Season 1 cast. Makes sense, right? Gen 2 is going to be BFDI cast plus David. I know that might be a little controversial considering that David didn't compete in BFDI alongside these other guys, but he did compete in Season 1, but it would feel really weird to put him with the rest of them, but it would also feel weird to put him with Gen 3 with the BFB guys, because he did compete before that, so I think putting him in Gen 2 is a good workaround for that. Gen 3, like I said, this is the BFB gang, plus price tag, plus winner. And then Gen 4 is going to be all of the failed debuters, plus Profile. I actually did forget to put them in the poll at the very beginning, so, it's fine, not gonna matter. But basically what we got going on here is that, so I figured that a good number cast for the Season 6 would be 26 contestants. And I took the ratio from each set of characters to how many there are total, and these are the numbers I came up with. So, in the Season 6 cast, there will be 5 Gen 1 characters, 3 Gen 2 characters, 11 Gen 3 characters, and finally 7 Gen 4 characters. So, I just got them all set up here by generation, and I'm going to be putting them in here once I let you know what votes they got. And also, make sure to stay to the end of the video where I show you my preferred Season 6 cast. But let's get on with the votes now. Alright, so we got a total of 281 voters, and, I'm not going to count up how many total votes there are. I didn't think about that till now. We're just not going to do that. So, let's start here with Season 1. Now, I want to just say this. This is hilarious. Very last place, not just in the Season 1 voting, but literally the single least amount of votes out of every single character in this entire poll is Flower, with only 16 votes. So Flower is definitely not going to be joining the game. Also not joining is Rocky at 34 votes, Teardrop at 42, hell yeah, Pin at 54, Ice Cube at 58, Snowball at 56, Pen at 61, Woody at 65, Fiery at 66, Pencil and Coiny both at 68, Leafy at 69, Needle at 77. So that means that out of these 7 remaining characters, 5 of them will get to join. And you know what? I'm just going to jump right to it. First place in the voting was Golf Ball at a whopping 110 votes, followed closely by Match at 92. That's really interesting to me that Match of all characters got second place. Like Golf Ball getting first, that makes sense. Rocky getting almost last makes sense. But like, Match getting more than Pencil, that's weird. I mean, I guess it makes sense because we have seen a lot of Pencil over the past few years. But really, Match has gotten the shaft quite a bit. So, I mean, it makes sense for her to be here, but I just didn't think the votes would go like that. In third place is Bubble at 90 votes. I think this could be cool for a Season 6, have these guys back together again. Well, I guess they are kind of the Teapot 14. Never mind. And then after that is going to be Tennis Ball at 88 votes. Pretty solid cast so far. So now it's down to Blocky, Eraser, and Spongy. 1 spot left. And that spot is not going to Eraser, who only has 80 votes. Now to the final 2 square guys, it's going to be Spongy at 86. That's kind of crazy. I really did not expect Spongy to make it here. I mean, I guess after all this time, he's definitely healed in reputation after what he did. But you know what? Not bad. So sadly, all these guys are gonna get sent to the LOL. Alright, and now I'm actually going to skip ahead and go to the Gen 4 guys, just because I think I want to save the more interesting groups for last, and this one is obviously the least interesting, like we know nothing about half these guys. Alright, I'm going to go quick here. I'm not really going to like put much emphasis on any of this, because like again, who really cares about most of these guys? Kitchen Sink at 20 votes, Shampoo at 24, Leak at 24, Onigiri at 27, Salt Lamp at 33, Snare Drum at 34, Clapboard at 45, Blender also at 45, VHSE 49, Boom Mic 50, Scissors 54, 9-Ball and Disky both at 55, Tapey at 57, and Avocado at 65. Alright, now we're down to these guys. And once again, I'm going to jump back up to the top. So, in very first place is PDA at an astonishing 190 votes, which is just insane. That is the single most amount of votes out of every single character in the entire poll, at nearly 70% of all people voting for her. Honestly impressive, but it makes sense. She got a whole short all to herself, so you know what, come on guys. Really gotta expect this. Also joining the season is Income Tax Return Document at 135, Rubber Spatula at 125, and Non-existy baby at 123. Now half of you are safe, and half of you are not. Well, I just know Conch Shell's gonna lose at a mere 70 votes, followed by Camera, also at 70 votes. But don't worry, because Anchor is safe at 111. And also at 111 is Profiley. Again, I forgot Profiley at the poll initially, so his vote count should definitely be higher. But you know what? They still made it. It really doesn't matter. They're still here on the list, so no harm, no foul. And down to Shopping Cart and Battery, it's gonna be Shopping Cart who's out, man. Really had you there. Shopping Cart out at only 89 votes, and Battery joins with 96. And now we're going to skip back to Gen 2. Alright. Now this has by far the smallest pool of characters to pull from, and was also one of the most competitive. In last place is David at only 40 votes, followed by Bommy at 44, and Yellowface at 56. Dude, that sucks! That sucks! Also out is Gelatin at 59, and Book at 77. Tough luck, buddy. Another sad one. It's gonna be Donut at only 78. Really like this character, it's a real shame. And then Nickel at 80. And now we've got quite a battle between titans here, I gotta say. These votes were pretty close, except for Fries at 137. Leagues ahead Ruby at 96. So, yeah, Fries is still very popular, and in a vote to save format kind of show, I think he could do very well. The Teapot Dark Age kind of screwed him over, but you know what? He's going to be in Season 6, sure. And then down to Puffball and Dora. I know who I would choose to join this season, but unfortunately, that's not going to happen because Dora is not joining at only 82 votes. And with just 5 more, Puffball joins the game. Honestly, not the worst case scenario. Fries and Puffball, you know, they got their little dynamic going. And that is going to lead us down to Gen 3, our final group of guys. And to make this one extra suspenseful, I am going to just name all but one of the safe ones right away. At number 10 is Stapy at 106 votes, followed by Taco at 109, Remote at 114, and Bracelety at 119. Again, I'm pretty surprised that Stapy managed to get here. I really didn't expect him to, do too well in these polls, but yeah, I guess he's still pretty popular. Also safe is Baloney at 119 and Lollipop at 121. And then Fanny at 122. Winner at 126. Which, I gotta say, dude, I don't get it. I don't get the winner hype. I mean, he's like... He's okay, I guess. But people like him. Speaking of people who like... Lightning at 128. And our first place winner, the most votes out of everyone in all of the BFB cast, not one I would have expected, is fucking Fiery Jr. Fiery Jr. of all characters got first place, and like by a lot too, 141 votes. Like, that is crazy. I never for a second expected him to get so many. But with the way the poll works, I allowed people to vote on multiple characters per generation. So I guess it kind of worked out that like so many people were just kind of like, yeah, I like Fiery Jr. Sure, let's vote for him. Which is why I think multiple votes per category is important, because while Fiery Jr. might not be a lot of people's most favorite of all time character, I guess it looks like a lot of people like him enough to vote for him. But I think really if I limited it to just one vote per category per person, I don't think Fiery Jr. would have made it very high at all. And that's why I think multiple votes per category is important, because it allows for more of these like well-liked but not loved characters to make it in, because that still makes Fiery Jr. an all-star, and you know what? He earned it. And now we're down to these guys. Only one of them gets to join. And it's not Grassy at only 39, or Naily at 48, or Foldy at 48, or Robot Flower at 49, whoops, TV at 50, and Eggy at 53. Bell at 54, Clock 59. And then Saw, my old favorite, at a mere 60 votes. Probably more than she deserves. And then Pillow at only 61. That's very surprising to me. I thought she would get way more votes than that. And was outvoted by Roboti at 63. That's kind of crazy. Anyway, there is Pie at 64. You know, I'm sorry, that one guy in my comments section that really likes Pie. I forget your name. Sorry, man. It's not working out for you, buddy. Then Marker at 66. Price Tag at 67. I bet you thought it was Price Tag. I bet you thought it was Price Tag. I really do. And then 8 Ball at a whopping 69 votes. Really getting to the home stretch here. We got some crazy good characters here, but only one of them gets to make it. And it's not going to be Gady at 71. Nor will it be Basketball at 76. Kind of a little disappointed about that one. No, I feel like Basketball still got more to give to the world. Then Cake gets 77. And Bottle at 78. Down to the final 6. You guys scared? I'm absolutely fucking terrified right now. Well, if you thought it was Black Hole, you are wrong, because he's out with only 87 votes. The vote of 87, yes. And then Barf Bag at 88. Now, I did post this poll in the comments section of the Barf Bag video, so it's possible she got a lot of votes just because people were thinking about her after watching my video. So, I really don't know if she deserved to get this high. She was probably on a lot of people's minds when they went voting, and they thought, you know what? A lot of untapped potential here. Let's get her in. Fortunately, did not work. And now, it's down to Cloudy, Lie, Loser, and Tree. Unfortunately, the Loser Redemption arc will have to wait because he only has 89 votes. And honestly, I'm okay with this next one. Lie at 94. Now it's down to Cloudy and Tree. Ooh, who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? One of them has 101 votes and the other has 95. Oh man. Oh man, this is scary, guys. Oh, who's this gonna be? Oh, it's Cloudy! Cloudy wins at 101 votes. Wow. I'm so proud of him. So yeah, here is our cast. We got... Honestly, I don't think this is bad at all. I think this is solid. I think something really good is that there's no finalists in this entire cast. which, like, I know, like, being a finalist is kind of a curse in this series, and is kind of expected, but, you know, those guys had their time to shine, and I see a lot of underdogs in here who really needed more spotlight. I think Ruby and Bubble both got out too fast in pre-split, or a post-split. Match got out early in pre-split, hasn't done much of anything really substantial yet. We've got Anchor, who I think is a pretty fun character from what we've seen. Fiery Jr., like I've said. Balloony and Cloudy. I think it's great that this duo was finally back. Never should have been split up. Brixley, it's a shame Ice Cube isn't also here, because I feel like Ice Cube really completes the character. But you know what? That's not bad at all. Remote and Lightning, both early boots from Teapot, who definitely deserve to stay. Taco, who had a lot of missed potential. Lollipop, who is also here. And fucking Non-existy and Profiley. I mean, two guys who've been here, well, one who's really been here since the beginning, and one who has supposedly been here since the beginning. But now they both get a chance at a real competition in the show. And you know what? I'm not mad. I think this is a solid Season 6 cast. Let me know what you guys think. But whatever. But now, the moment you've been waiting for. What would my Season 6 cast look like? Alright, let's just start with, let's start with Gen 1, I guess. So, I think... Okay, well, obviously, let's get Flower. Let's get Teardrop. Let's get Fiery and Leafy out of here. I think those guys really, they've ran their course. I don't really... Fiery and Leafy wrapped up their thing nice. I hate Teardrop. Flower, I would never want to see again for the rest of my life. Now, onto these guys. I'm going to say no to Needle, no to Rocky, also no to Coiny. I think he might win BFDI, yay. Possibly Pin. Because, like, I'm not just looking for, like, my absolute favorite characters. I gotta think about, you know, maybe dynamics throughout the season as well as, like, characters that just... that we need to see more. Like, for example, Golf Ball's my favorite character, but she's been in every season. We have seen so much of Golf Ball. I'm not gonna take her out just yet. I might have to decide on that later, but I don't know. But I feel like someone like Eraser, who only... Because he started getting interesting in Teapot, but then got eliminated after, like, 8 episodes of being interesting. I feel like Eraser still has more to show us. He's still a great character, but he's not some nobody like Woody, for example, who is kind of just whatever, to me at least. I'm gonna take out Spongy. I'm not really sure where else he could go as a character. I'm taking out Pen just because I don't like him. And then, you know what? I think the voters were onto something. I think we throw in Match and Bubble. Okay. We're gonna ignore... we're gonna ignore, like, the Teapot end credit scene where Match and Bubble meet up. Because, I don't know, dude. Because, you know, Teapot's not done. So we don't know what's gonna happen. So we're just gonna pretend that Season 6 started right now, today. And anything that could potentially happen in any future Teapot episode doesn't matter. I'm just gonna go with this. And then I will take out Tennis Ball, I believe. He's seen a lot of stuff. And I'll see, yeah, I think we take out Golf Ball. She's just been in everything. I really like Golf Ball, but she's been in everything. I don't know, we don't need to see more of her. And I think I'm gonna go also with Pencil. It'd be nice to see Match without Pencil for a little longer. I feel like we take Blocky out. And then I'm thinking Ice Cube for the sole reason of bringing Bracelet in, but we'll get to that. And then out of these two, I'm gonna go Snowball. We've seen a lot of Pin. Okay. Now onto Gen 2, and this one's tricky because there's a lot of characters I really like here. But let's just start with taking some out. We're gonna take out Bommy. We'll take out Book. Take out David and Gelatin and Nickel. And also Puffball. And it's going to be down to these 5 that I really, really like. And I honestly think we go with Dora first. I think Dora, like, especially in the, like, the Exeter saga, Dora started getting, like, really interesting, like, as, like, a force of nature. Like, I don't know. I just think Dora, as she is in the modern day, could be really cool to see in a competition again. Like, I've said it before, in BFB she was, like, kind of a really good asset, but they never really pushed it enough. But during the Exeter arc, they really started to go with Dora being this super powerful, competitive being. And I think that could be super cool in an actual show. See, this is where it gets tough. This is where it gets tough. I think we go take away Yellowface, because this is an all-star season, and I think this would be very focused on the... Alright, I feel like... I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying, dude. This is really tough. Because I really like Ruby. But we have seen a lot of Ruby. I think we leave Ruby. Right? Because we'll have Bubble, Match, and Ice Cube. They'll be doing their thing. And if we also have Ruby tacked onto that, that seem a little much. So I think the main thing is Match and Bubble interacting. A little bit of Ice Cube, but she'll mostly be dealing with Bracelety. And I think also Fries is what we want. Possibly team up with the Eraser, do something cool there. In between Donut and Yellowface, I really like both these guys. I will come back to this, because it's really going to depend on... Because if I pick absolutely no, like, comic relief characters, I'll go with Yellowface. But if I do end up throwing some in there, then I'll go with Donut. I'm just not really sure where else Donut could go. I feel like he's, like... After Teapot, I think he'll be complete as a character, and I'm not sure... Because here's the thing, I really don't know if there should be a Season 6, like, realistically. Because I feel like Teapot's going to do a really good job wrapping up everything from BFB, and then we'll have IDFB after that that's going to wrap up everything from that early era, and then Teapot's going to do everything from the modern era, and I'm not sure if there'll be anything left to do after that, and, like, you could do a Season 6, but... all good things have to end eventually. So, like, it's like Marvel, right? Like, everyone agrees Endgame was the perfect ending to Marvel, the MCU. But they kept going. I feel like Teapot is going to be the perfect ending to BFDI. But they could keep going. I'm not saying, like, Marvel has made some good movies after Endgame. But a lot of it has felt unnecessary, and a lot of it has just been not to the quality as the Endgame era. And I feel like it's really the same kind of situation here. Like, after Teapot, we've got this huge thing with one, and there's so much stuff going on. Everything gets wrapped up all nice and perfect, and then after that, it's like, now what? Just go back to a casual season like BFDI? I don't know if it can work like that. I don't know. It's a big discussion. Not one a lot of people probably like to have. They probably want BFDI to go on forever, but... I feel like after Teapot, IDFB, I think that's it. I think after Teapot, they go into IDFB, just as a little bit of a closer for everything, a little nice little send-off. And then after that, it's over. Maybe like a little short here and there every once in a while, but in terms of full-on seasons, that might be it. Anyway, back to this. We're gonna take out TV, take out Pillow, Pie, sorry dude, Price Tag, and Winner, as well as Grassy, Bell, Cake, Eggy, Robot Flower, Lollipop, Lie, Gatey, Foldy, Stapy, Bottle. I'm just gonna throw Bracelety up there. I'm gonna put Loser up there. I think we need a Loser redemption arc. And I think keeping him away from Winner might actually be a good idea, so he can develop on his own as his own character instead of just the guy who betrayed Winner. And then maybe you can get into that later if there's like a rejoin that includes all the guys who didn't make it. I don't know. But I think we go Balloony and Cloudy. Oops, that's I was wondering why is okay. Remote. I mean, was it 11? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go with 6, 7, I have to do it. I have to do it. 8, 9. I think we can do something with brace, taco and barf bag. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2 more. And it's not gonna be tree. It's not gonna be marker. Not gonna be naily. I don't know. I feel like we really didn't get a lot of 8-ball. I feel like 8-ball has more. I'm gonna take out clock. Also gonna take out Fanny. Well, think about this. We also want a bit of like a palate cleanser, right? Because like we got barf bag, taco, saw, remote, Balloony and Cloudy that are kind of like the, maybe not Balloony, but all these other guys are kind of like, yeah, wow, alright, let's go team, let's go, let's win the challenge. Like a lot more positive, optimistic guys. We want a little bit of a mix-up. We don't want to just have like this same kind of character over and over again. So I think, ooh, I don't know. I think we go Robati. Screw it. We go Robati. I think in Teapot 15, 16, I think Robati was kind of amusing. I think we could do something with this. I do. And then finally, take out Black Hole. You know what? Let's revisit basketball and snowball dynamic. I mentioned it in the other video. It wasn't enough. I'm also gonna go with yellow face. Sorry, Donut. That did not feel good. Okay. We got Profiley, Non-existy, PDA, Anchor, that's 4, 5, 6, and one more. Yeah, screw it. 7. And then all these other guys are gonna go down into here. Whoops. And there you have it. That is gonna be my Season 6 cast. I think this could work. I really do. And I know what you're thinking, like, oh my gosh, he's picking Non-existy of all characters. And you know what? I am. Because I think in a smaller, more relaxed kind of competition, like I think what Season 6 would be, exploring Non-existy as a phenomenon could be really, really cool. Like I mentioned it in the Ultimate Retrospective, like let's say, okay, so this is just random, but let's just say we got our 2 teams of 13 here. And you know, at first, maybe these guys are like a little pissed off. They're like, you kidding me? We're 1 member short than the other guys. This sucks. But then, like, maybe, like, early on, episode 2, 3, maybe not episode 1, but maybe episode 2 or 3, like, these guys are right about to lose. Like, oh, guys, this is bad. We're gonna lose. But then suddenly, like, their part of the challenge just gets completed. Or, like, I don't know. One of these guys is about to, like, finish the challenge, and suddenly they're, like, slammed into the ground, completely incapacitated. And then that gives these guys the time to finish their challenge, and then they win. And then everyone's confused. They're like, what just happened? Did you guys do that? No. And then, like, maybe we have basketball here. It's like, you know, guys, I wonder if it was Non-existy who did it. And then maybe it's something like, oh, no, Remote, or Basketball, that's impossible. Non-existy doesn't exist. It couldn't have been him. And then, like, that can be Basketball's thing, maybe. Like, this is just, like, off the top of my head. I don't know. And then, like, as the course of the season goes on, like, more things start to happen, like, out of nowhere. Like, maybe it's not, like, a challenge winner every time. That was just a good introduction for the character. Get, like, you know, some more people to like him. But, you know, maybe, like, Non-existy starts to become a really good asset to the team. And with Basketball trying to figure things out, maybe Non-existy starts being able to communicate through, like, a whiteboard or, like, an abacus or something. I don't know. And then as the episodes go on, Non-existy gets more and more human, and he gets closer and closer to being more on, like, their plane of existence, I guess, if that makes sense. So at the start of the season, Non-existy doesn't do anything. He's non-existent. But as things go on, more starts to happen. He starts to do more. He becomes more of a character. The other guys are starting to be like, okay, maybe Non-existy is real. And then he gets eliminated. That's what happens. He gets out, but at this point, basketball was like trying to bring Non-existy to their world or something. I don't know. I don't know what the lore is behind Non-existy. But like, at this point, Non-existy is like super powerful, and he starts just absolutely like messing with everything. Like, and to the point where the entire competition has to get halted, and we have like, maybe it could be the challenge for the episode, or it could be just like a story episode where they have to deal with this now, where it's like, okay guys, Non-existy is gonna like kill all of us. We've got to fix this right now. And then something cool could happen, I don't know. And then it's like, he's out. And you know what? That's his little character arc. Where it's less of an arc where he grows as a character and more of one where he like, I guess he literally grows as a character. I don't know. I think that could be really cool. I think there's endless possibilities of cool things they could do with Non-existy, and that's why I like him so much. Like, I know people say like him doing something would ruin the joke, but like the joke isn't why I like Non-existy. I like Non-existy because the idea of a non-existent character sounds really cool. Like, there's so many cool things you could do with it. And I think a more relaxed season where the characters are more hanging out and like they have time to just like talk a lot. I don't know, dude. I think that could be really cool. I think that could be really, really cool. I don't know. Let's go over a few of the characters real quick. Maybe like discuss what they could possibly do. Taco and Barf back and team up because they're kind of friends. You could have basketball and Non-existy. Maybe PDA is meddling in there. Possibly Fries and Eraser doing something. Could have Shopping Cart maybe trying to hold her team together with things going wrong and possibly like Remote or something helping her. We'll have Match and Bubble and Ice Cube kind of become friends again with also Bracelety, kind of splitting Ice Cube between the two groups. We could have Rubber Spatula try to be a leader or something. I feel like that's kind of in character for him. We could have Snowball like beat up Profiley or something. I don't know. I feel like Profiley's good elimination fodder. I don't know, dude. Roboti could possibly lean more into his mysterious aspects, maybe some sort of connection with Non-existy. Maybe he gets in on that, or maybe he's just, again, elimination fodder. Income tax return document could be like a good foil to Shopping Cart, where they're both trying to take control of the team, and income tax return documents being a lot more aggressive, and like he's got like he's more of like a dick, I guess you could say, but like he gets the results, and that's why like there's such a big feud. Whereas like Shopping Cart is a nice person and is trying to get everyone to work together and stuff. Income tax return document does his own thing, maybe uses the other characters as objects to get what he wants, but it works. And that kind of leaves the rest of the team torn on like what they want to do going forward. We have Saw solely to redeem her. I'm not even gonna lie. Same thing with Loser, just redemption arc for both these guys. Balloony and Cloudy reignite their friendship, join back together. We could have Dora absolutely carry. I don't really know if there's much for like relationship stuff with other characters. She's really not that kind of character. But I really think she could just be a challenge powerhouse, and that would make her really divisive in the community because people would hate her because she's annoying, but then other people would love her because she carries every time. Fiery Junior just to be cool, Yellowface just to be cool, and Anchor, I don't know, dude. I just kind of like Anchor. But anyway, yeah, that's my Season 6 cast, and feel free to share your your things in the comments. And, yeah.